Assalamualaikum and hi madam. So our group will present ethical issue in the workplace. My name is Nurul Najiha binti Nur Azlin. So the next presenter is Nurul Afikah Najwa. Next is Nur Syahirah binti Shamri, and the other one is Nik Hazwani binti Hanafi, and the last presenter will be conducted by Nur Aman bin Abdul Wahid. So in the first slide, we can see that what is ethical issue in the workplace. So I would define it by as an instance in which a moral quandary arises and must be resolved within an organization. What are 5 types of primary ethical issue in the workplace? First, we got safety, technology, privacy, social media, and discrimination. In these 5 of type primary issue that can be learned of ourselves and in the organization. Next, what we talk about the ethical issue? What is the example? So the example of the ethical issue is image result of what is ethical issues in workplace. For some example of ethical dilemma include like taking credit for others' work, like that. Offering a client a worse product for your own profit. That is not good if the employee do that things, because this is not the right things that employee should do. So, utilizing inside knowledge your own profit. This is not right if the employee to do so. So, the objective that we can learn in this issue ethic is the objective are to study and assess human behavior. It is also to establish principles and moral standards of behavior. Ethics is not compulsory in personal life and is not forced upon anyone, but being ethical in one step forward towards being a good person. Understand and discuss the idea of moral relativism and the challenges it poses to universal value. Critically assesses the relationship between theory and practice in the formulation of value. Understand and values arise from lived experience, but need to be justified to others. They are promote to aims of research, such as expanding knowledge. They support the value required for collaborative works, such as mutual respect and fairness. This is essential because scientific research depends on collaboration between research and growth. Thank you.
For the first issue is workplace harassment and discrimination. Harassment and discrimination are arguably the biggest ethical issue affecting business honesty. When harassment or discrimination occurs in the workplace, the consequences can be devastating, both financially and reputationally. Employees must refrain from using foul language towards colleagues inside and outside the workplace. This is very important when dealing with customers. It is well known the bad products and services lead to angry customers and verbal abuse. They can even insult you if they are to blame. As a account manager, a salesperson, or employee, it is important not to use offensive language toward customer, no matter how you are provoked. Second issue is taking credit for others' hard work. It is very common for our managers to acknowledge the hard work of her members on the team when reporting to the manager. One of her team members may have come up with an idea to help his sales team increase sales by 200%. So, however, when writing the report, the manager does not mention the names of her members of the team, claiming that the idea was his. So, employees should reduce their use of me but embrace their use of we. So, by acknowledging someone else's work, you deny them promotions, bonus, awards for good work. This discourages them from sharing ideas that will benefit the company in the future. Number 3 is Whistleblowing or social media rants. The widespread nature of the social media has made employees conduct online a factor in their employment status. The question of the ethics of firing or punishing employees for their online posts is complicated. However, the line is usually drawn when an employee's online behavior is disloyal to their employer. This means that Facebook post complaining about work is not punishable on its own, but can be punishable if it does something to reduce businesses. Number 4 of the issue is a late night out or unpaid overtime. Some employers take advantage of desperate job seekers and the competitive job market to use employees' leisure time as they wish. They do so with the mentality that they are doing employees a favor by employing them, not knowing that the favor is mutual. Employees who fear queries or job loss are not be able to protest the infringement into their private time by the employer.
Hi, my name is Nur Shahira binti Shamri. Today our topic is the issue. So my first point is unethical leadership behavior conducted and the decision made by organization leader that are illegal and or violate more standard factor. So contributing are personal gain, personal interest. So for example, we know that manipulating information in the report, company budget spent on inappropriate activity, and then accepting inappropriate gift from supplier or request to skip a standard procedure. Okay, discrimination and harassment. A person receive unfair treatment due to these factors such as race, skin color, sex, nationality, religion, age, disability, or ethnicity. So, for example, unfair treatment using racial slurs, sending applicant sensitive or sexually emails or text message, making negative and comments about someone disability, or asking sensitive question about someone personal life. Toxic workplace environment. A company environment that leads to practice policies or management style that encourage unhealthy habits or conflict among the workforce. So a company environment that leads to practice policies or management style that encourage unhealthy habits or conflict among the workforce. So for example is gossiping, higher turnover rate, unfriendly competition among the workforce employees, and then showing up later or often absent at work's employers. So often seems to work during lunch, late post office hour and weekends, and public criticism by the employee. My 4th point is unrealistic and conflicting goals. For example is unrealistic deadline to accomplish a task, consequences, low productivity, low quality of work, high turnover rate, and burnout. My last point is questionable use of company technology. So the issue is employee often visited non-work related websites or application during working hours, and consequences is lost time, reduced worker productivity, procrastination, and company budget. That's all my points. Thank you.
As we know, harassment and discrimination always happen in the workplace, where harassment is a behavior that will result in either verbal, physical, or sexual. Discrimination will be accepted through unfair treatment based on class groups. One example of harassment is the use of abusive language to others, whether to colleagues, managers, or more seriously to customers to deal with. This behavior should not be carried over to the workplace, as it can offend others, and the use of abusive language in the workplace can be seen as unethical behavior. The workplace is a place for employees to show their potential at work, not acting as ethical behavior that affects you. More seriously, these manners can provoke anger among each other at work when unleashed on the wrong people. As a result of this behavior, the employee may quit their job, and indirectly they may be able to bring a claim to the employment tribunal for constructive dismissal. Therefore, harassment and discrimination can lead to a lack of morale in the workplace. In addition, it can affect the victim's mental and physical performance in their work. Recognition of employees for their hard work when managers or supervisors in the department easily take the ideas of their employees and get expression for their own importance in the workplace. Managers should know the value of employees is measured based on their performance and hard work to get workplace benefits such as bonus, promotions, and salaries. Now I know why 52% of managers are actively looking for a new position because of unsatisfactory pay and benefits. Employees work hard to get a raise, but managers easily take this opportunity to steal their ideas. It's not unfair and ethical behavior when this person does not get any reward while others enjoy their hard work. By creating this way, it will influence other employees to trust their managers and colleagues. A manager should develop the potential of their employees at work by giving them full responsibility and believing that they perform the task well. The next is the effect of social media on employee whistleblower intentions. Do you know how corporate social media policies can influence their intentions? This is because some data exists, and here we can draw a general conclusions. Social media strategies and social media policies did not make any difference for mail whistleblower intentions via hotlines and social media. The issues of additional work on holidays or weekend always happen to people who want a job or people who want to add their income. Based on the rules and regulations for normal working hours in Malaysia, according to Section 68 EA 1995, a maximum of 8 working hours in a day based on a 6 working day week or a maximum of 9 hours in a day based on 5 working days weeks. If you work more than that time, it will be labeled as overtime and the employer will have to pay the employee for that time. Before accepting any job, even part-time, you need to check the employment agreement. It must state in the agreement that the employee can agree to work overtime and is entitled to be paid at least 1.5 times the hourly rate. Otherwise, you can report to the local labor department if the employer does not pay accordingly despite working overtime. Do your right to protecting yourself.
Issue number 1 is workplace harassment and discrimination. Discrimination occurs when one person or group of people are subjected to unfair treatment based on factors such as race, color, sex, nationality, religion, age, disability, ethnicity, or veteran status. Several federal laws address each type of discrimination. The right to equality is provided under Article 8 of the Federal Constitution of Malaysia. The first part of the article stated that all persons are equal before the law and entitled to equal protection. The second part of the article also stated that there will be no discrimination for any reason in every sector. In Industrial Relations Act 1967, the Act has prohibited employers from doing any form of discrimination against a person regarding employment, promotion, or any other condition of employment, whether the employee is a member of a labor union or not. So when the discriminatory behavior exceeds that of engaging in unfair employment practices and escalates to behavior that is verbally and physically abusive, it is considered harassment. There will never be a cure for discrimination. However, employers can educate employees on the illegality of discriminatory treatment and understanding of differences and other factors that are separate from job qualification will help prevent some instance of discrimination. Issue number 2 is taking credit for others' hard work. Proper credit is important for ensuring everyone do their work at best and receive fair recognition and compensation. When someone take credit for the work that you have done, it is important to respond with tactfulness to avoid conflict and quickly remedy the situation. Some helpful tips to respond professionally and productively when someone taking credit for others' work such as number 1, focus on giving other proper credits. So employees should influence it in working environment by ensuring everyone receive proper credit for the project they work on together. Number 2, keep record of the work that has been done. This can help to prevent in more serious cases of misattribution. Number 3 is develop healthy professional relationship among colleagues, can create environment in which everyone wants to give due credit. colleague also can offer support and credit, among others, to encourage them to do likewise. Number 4, practice confidently voicing your ideas rather than sharing privately can be one of the best ways to ensure getting credit for contributions. Number 5 is find a different work environment. If receiving credit is a frequent issue in the workplace, even after you try to fix the situation, consider finding a new position or new company. Issue number 3 is social media rants. Companies don't need to ban the use of social media in their workplace. They could create a fair and comprehensive social media policy that satisfy the needs of both the employers and the employees. The policy should lay out the regulation about the usage of social media in the workplace. It should also explain the necessary steps to deal with any breach of the contract and provide specific examples for behaviors considered as misconduct. Companies could provide printed copies of the policy or memorandum to their staff, or could post a printed policy guide on the company's bulletin board. Managers should be trained to implement and regulate the policy effectively. Issue number 4 is unpaid overtime. Overtime should be treated as a final option, not first. A culture of overtime often goes with disengagement and employee burnout. Learning how to reduce overtime is about making the most of the normal employee hours, working smarter, not longer. There are a lot of administrative tasks that eat up employee time throughout the day. Instead of hosting daily meetings, use an online project board where everyone can check the status of the project and their assignment. Using email automation can also instantly respond to customers' inquiries instead of sending individual emails one by one. It is important to make sure the workers spend majority of their time on their actual responsibilities and they have the tools they need to do their best work. If the team spending their shift troubleshooting old software or old equipment, it's time to replace them with something more efficient. Okay, another great way to reduce overtime is learning how to schedule smarter. Smart scheduling ensures you have the right amount of staff available when things are busy and that you are not overstaffed when things are slow. Working too much overtime isn't healthy for everyone and leads to high rates of employee burnout and turnover. Which one is more cost effective? Hiring a new employee to pitch in a few hours a week as needed, or paying overtime and losing your best employees? If keeping up with the demand is the issue, consider hiring some extra help. Instead of setting expectation and then putting increased pressure on staff to perform, try supporting the team as much as possible to help them achieve the best they can. Remember that the best leaders don't manage, they lead. For the conclusion, ethical issues in workplace involve issues such as harassment and discrimination, taking credit for another person's hard work, social media rants, unpaid overtime, unrealistic company goals, and questionable use of company technology. In conclusion, ethical issues exist in every workplace because the employees often face situations which involve ethical dilemmas. In addition, when the ethical issues are not resolved in time, it may result in a hostile working environment which makes work become more difficult or uncomfortable for another person and making it harder for the employees to give out their maximum potential. Therefore, it is important for the employees to respond appropriately to every ethical issues that arises in the workplace to create an ethical climate for the employers as well as making the workplace safe and friendly.